Guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. If you guys just wouldn't mind just hitting that like button, that would be, I'd massively appreciate that. So we'll go straight over to those charts. So yeah, 4 hour first. Obviously, you know, we got the 4 hour 9 yesterday. The 4 hour 9 turned out to be a doji looking candle, which is not great. So we sort of got a front run from the 9,000 area support in towards the 9. The 9 ended up being a doji candle, and we are now basically trading and closing 4 hour candles below that 9, which is if you guys obviously watch my videos, you know how I trade the TD. I then look at that level there as basically the continuation to the downside, and obviously taking out the top of the 9 candle would be continuation to the upside. So yeah, we've got this clear defined ranges. I did also say as well that obviously that continuation to the upside being right at resistance, it's just a no trade really, because you can't buy into that resistance. But what you can do, you can sell basically into the loss of this level underneath, which we have got. So this is looking very bearish, guys. This is looking very bearish. It is looking very bearish, and we've got this larger time frame channel that we're looking at, which we're basically getting rejected from, as you can see. And I think the path of least resistance, we'll call it that way, the path of least resistance is going to be to the downside. I think left to its own devices, that's where Bitcoin is going to find itself. Obviously, the actual stock markets could stock markets and even the currency markets, even the dollar, if we get some more serious weakness in the dollar, which we're getting a little bit of weakness today in the dollar, that could also help us. But they're kind of linked. When you get weakness in the dollar, that is kind of what is driving the stock markets, and ultimately that is the main player, the underlying key element to this is the currency, is the dollar. So that has been weakening. Obviously stock markets have been rallying, but yeah, Bitcoin has been struggling, but in the face of a strengthening dollar, which would probably result in weakening stock markets, which would almost definitely result in a weaker stock market, that is going to absolutely hammer Bitcoin. So yeah, and then what do we think is most likely? Do we think the dollar is going to rally or keep weakening? I mean, we don't really know on that one, but all we can look to is the Bitcoin charts, where we can see we're just not making any progress here, guys. I mean, it's as clear as day. Look, high, 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 low, 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 and then could we potentially call this a high? I mean, once we basically get down, break below these candles, then yeah, I mean, this is another lower high, and this is quite a considerable lower high as well. I mean, it's way away from the trend line of lower highs, as you can see by that, the trend line we've drawn in there. So we're looking bearish. We are looking bearish. Obviously, we could turn around here because we do have low, higher, low, well, sort of higher, low at the moment. But obviously, that is that is clearly in jeopardy, and we sort of had this trend line which we did lose anyway. I mean, I don't know how many times we can keep moving and adjusting and drawing trend lines to help Bitcoin, but these are why I don't really like these sorts of angled trend lines. I prefer horizontals, as you guys know, and this is the main horizontal we're looking at. This was obviously a main horizontal, this was a main horizontal, and yeah, so this is what we are looking at. And I mean, on the balance of probabilities, you have to say we are going down on the balance of probabilities. It's like I said, though, it's not the end of the world immediately. I mean, this could be a really good catch zone, a really good buy zone for Bitcoin, some liquidity hunts below here, and then a reversal. I mean, we see it all the time, even on shorter time frames on Bitcoin. You get the wick down and then move up, like a wick down and then move up, like a wick down even here that we had recently, then a move up. It is how Bitcoin likes to play out. It's lots of markets like to play out that way, but it's easier to do it. It seems that Bitcoin's better at it. But yeah, are we going to get like a larger time frame, a move down, a wick down, and then a bullish move up on the larger time frame? It is a possibility. It's not. It is a possibility. That is a reasonable probability, a reasonable prospect. So that's kind of what we have got. Even if we do break down from here, we can just sack off this range as a reversal point back to the top and say, right, okay, we've got this new base, this major base, 8,600. We're a lot lower level. Can we start making some progress here? Build some support, and then build a base. Maybe build an ascending triangle in this sort of zone here, and then yeah, get a nice move up. Yeah, I mean, it is possible. Obviously, we've got lower targets that we clearly have been looking at. I mean, the inverted head and shoulders on an even larger time frame down to around here, which could get us seriously bullish, which could be obviously, well, to be honest, if we come from 7,000 to 10,000 to then break the connect line, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously that's a pretty bullish move in itself, but that could be the trade of the year. That could, guys. Well, to be honest, I don't know how long. Yeah, I mean, this is only a couple of months of price action. Look, May, June, and roughly halfway through July, aren't we? 2.5 months. We get another, basically, maybe 2 months, break down here, get down to around here, and then start to move up. This could be the trade of the year. This could be buying around this zone, right, to get us all the way to 10,000, to then get us all the way to 15,000, playing out this inverted head and shoulders. That could be the trade of the year into December, into basically, well, even the target of the head and shoulders would then break us into new territory, lower high wise on the macro, which then could then get us to the 20k, and then to maybe even 30k, 25, 30k. This again is a reasonable scenario, guys. I mean, we know how volatile Bitcoin is on the whole. I mean, ignoring this historically low volatility period, a period of historically low volatility, yeah, just ignore. I mean, obviously you can ignore that and just look to how Bitcoin normally moves. We could very easily be getting a move up to like 20, 25, 30k, and that could be triggered from a move down to here, inverted head and shoulders, taking out the 14, 15k, taking out the longer term trend line to the downside that we've got coming from the 20k high, and then just the sky's the limit, guys. Like in Tesla, like when we drew the Tesla chart, like when did you wait, man? Sorry, I'll just show you guys. I mean, we could have a similar thing like when we drew the where's Tesla? It's here. It's here. So like when I drew the arrow here, I was like, well, we break out these all-time highs. Look, we break out of these highs. Literally, the sky's the limit all the way up to here. And that's literally that's where we got to. On an actual closing basis, I mean, I was practically called it bang on. But anyway, it wasn't really measured off much. It was just like what I sort of would squint my eyes, look at something. Yep, that could be a nice level move up that I've just seen in other markets in other periods of time. So that could definitely happen in Bitcoin too, and we could get a serious move up. So it's not, all is not lost, guys. We know Bitcoin, either on small, medium, larger time frames, likes to move down before it moves up, or moves up before it moves down. It's just how it is. It's just how trading works. It's liquidity hunts. So yeah, all is not lost. I mean, I think it is unlikely we're going to get support in here and move up. I think 8,600 is a minimum for me, and then I mean, we could get wicks down to 8,000 as long as we get back above 8,600 quick. If we don't get wicks, then yeah, this level, and this level I believe would be perfect. It's a perfect type area for us to reverse from. It's just, I mean, it just would be perfect. It just would look amazing. It would be a chart that if it played out, I would basically put on my wall, especially because we'll be buying everything around this level and getting more and more leveraged and buying more up here and just making like an absolute fortune. Not financial advice. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, guys. Doesn't have to play out that way. We could get supported here. We could get supported here. We could get wicks down and get supported here. I mean, that's not necessarily going to play. We will look at what we could expect. I mean, you guys know what I'm thinking, what we could expect today. I mean, Bitcoin is struggling. It is struggling, guys. We'll have a look at those stokes. I mean, 4 hours turning back up. 4 hours turning back up. Could that help us? Yeah, could potentially. I mean, it is still basically, I would just call it this resistance. Basically buying over 9,200 is the long trade, and then I have, obviously it's the same trade I did before. I was buying 9,200, got stopped out on this wick, which is fine because look, I got stopped out basically here, around there. The market did trade a lot lower, so I mean, it was a good start. Fair enough, I could have got out obviously for a little profit, but we're not trading for little profits. You're trading for the big moves. So if we get back above 9,200, the same trade is on the table, and I would argue it'll be a better trade because we've obviously played out this extra downside. We've made a low, we're moving back up again. I mean, we're moving back up from a lower point, so we've got a trend behind us even on this short-term time frame short-term frame. But anyway, so yeah, breaking above 9,200, yeah, by 9,200 level, have the same stop, same trade, same stop, same trade. And yeah, and then we will be playing for the move up to, well, basically 9,700 in reality, adding to the trade on the way. So yeah, we've got, that's the bullish trade. 12-hour Stokes, 12-hour Stokes are not far from turning back up, not far from it. I mean, we play out this zone a bit longer, they are going to turn back up. Daily is obviously turning down, and I mean, if we can get this weekly close, this weekly tick, to like bring this indicator down to around here, I would feel much more comfortable in thinking that, okay, now we could maybe turn around and sort of do a bit of this action like we've got here, which is our only really, on BitMEX anyway, is our only really like weekly price. I mean, I should get up another, I should do this on another Bitcoin listing, Bitcoin ticker, so we can have more history. But either way, this is what I'm looking at anyway. We could start to form another one of these, and if we get down to about here, by the time it turns back round on the next tick, we are, yeah, I mean, another move up and bullish formation. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, thinking longer term anyway. So yeah, that is it, guys. Remember the Binance video, day 2 of the challenge. I've already got some tentative little bags in what I was looking at, so I'll show you those, guys, in the videos. We're gonna put some more orders in. It's a couple more coins we need to add to the list, and yeah, we're gonna have a look at that Binance challenge. So right, thanks for listening, guys. So remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys later.